Good morning, YouTube. Sorry guys, I have been neglecting you. I got a couple videos up in the last week or two, but have certainly been neglecting you, so I apologize. So, let me see, how long ago? Back in June, so almost 4 months ago, I moved one of my honeypot colonies over to a new expansion chamber. So I had them in the mini hearth. As you can see, it's still connected. With past colonies, I had very little success moving this species. Very stubborn. Of course, with the repletes, of course, it makes it hard because they become completely immobile after a very short period of time. So moving them has been difficult. So I worked with Mac over at Tar Heel Ants, and he was able to build me an expansion chamber for this colony that would connect directly to the mini hearth. It included a base, the porch lined up perfectly, and then we actually planning for this colony to grow, which I'm hoping. We also built room to expand this colony, so I've got the magnets, and I do have an expansion chamber that'll snap right on, so that I can just keep expanding, and as the repletes accumulate, I don't have to be as concerned about moving them. They can just kind of stay where they are. And let's see if I can get a better shot. This is up near. Sorry guys, my tripod is not working with me here. Okay. So they're all up near the port where I've got the nest mate hooked up. And for those of you guys that don't know, let's see here, the nest mate. I'm able to keep water in there. It's got a little mesh, and that's where the newer repletes seem to like to be. I had look at the old nest here. All the repletes that were in here at the time have died, but most of the colony has moved over. Periodically, you'll see an ant in there, and I've siliconed this nest in, so it's not going anywhere. But as you can see, the vast majority of the colony has moved over. Well, they've all moved over. I'm sure there's a reason why these guys go back and forth, but there's the queen. Yeah, the mesh on the water tower on this nest kind of sagged right from when I got it, which you got to be careful about hydrating. I can overhydrate. Once the water touches that mesh, it just seems to flood that chamber. Okay, let's see if I can get a look up a little. I'm going to change the angle here. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so that's that top chamber where the water, or the whatchamacallit, the nest mate. So that's where all the water is. So, and got a little bit of larvae up there, so that's always good. Roll over here to the next chamber. A little bit of a cockroach still hanging out. Let's see if I can't. Forgive the shoddy camera work here. So, and then the rest of the brood. It looks like we've got some repletes that are kind of starting, but yeah, they're a little slow to swell up. Now, it is October here in Tucson, unseasonably warm October. I'm thinking here in the next month or so, it should be, next couple of weeks, it should be cooling down quite a bit, and these guys should be going into a diapause, but I do love seeing them grow. Alright guys, let's take a look at the foraging area. I just dropped in a bunch of fruit flies. Cover them up here. So they're not, so what you're seeing there are just fruit flies. I put some honey in there, fresh water water feeder, but they're not too active this morning. Let's look at some other colonies, shall we? Well, sticking with the honeypot theme, this is one of my younger colonies caught July 13th, so almost exactly to a day, 3 months ago. We'll say 3 months ago. And they're doing good. Those little bugs in there, I see those on a lot of my colonies. I'm not sure what they are. I can't seem to rid myself of them. Yep, so caught this guy in July, put her directly, or girl, caught her in a water It's early, guys, rough night. Oh, this is where I need to start to get into editing, because I could make myself look a little bit more professional. But anyway, so in the lower left-hand corner, we've got a bunch of fruit flies and some mystery bugs, which I'm sure you guys will opine as you watch my video. But she is a healthy-looking queen. I think there's 5 or 6 Denectics at this point, and a healthy-looking brood there. So, yeah, it's a good-looking colony. Oh, there's more. I haven't actually counted them. I try to leave these guys alone. I feed them and leave them alone for the most part. So there may be a few more. I cannot tell. Anyway, let's zoom over to another colony. Oh, apparently I did not hit pause. Shame on me. Okay, so here's another one. Caught this queen July 17th of 2017. So again, just about 3 months old. And good looking colony. Been feeding these guys fruit flies. Actually, they have some fruit flies in their nest. They don't seem to mind. But this was one of the queens that I put directly into a mini hearth opposed to a test tube, and I sold off one of my test tube queens to a local viewer, semi-local, Phoenix versus Tucson, but close enough. Had one die in the mini hearth. I've had a couple die in the test tubes. The problem I'm finding in the test tubes is they mold up real quick. I don't really have that issue as frequently in the mini hearth. But anyway, yeah, healthy looking queen, big gaster. Hoping we have a really successful colony with her. Okay. Alright, my Pogonomyrmex that I recently moved into the phalanx, which I've been thoroughly enjoy watching these guys. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. They definitely like their seeds, for those of you keeping pogos, and I just use kind of a tropical birdseed blend. But they move it in, do their thing with it, and then move it back out. And this is a double-sided phalanx, so here's side one. Dual water towers, but yeah, really healthy brood there, as you can see right in the middle. It's always fun to see where they take the brood, because they do move them around, as those of you that are keeping ants are probably seeing, or mature colonies, that they certainly like to move their brood around, temperature variance and different stages in their development. But this colony, for those of you that follow me, but for those of you that don't, first-time viewers, caught this queen about July of 2016. Didn't lay any eggs until, I want to say March or April of this year. Laid an egg, had one ant, I believe. I have to go back and look at my notes, but had one ant. which was great because I honestly didn't think this colony was going to survive, and I've had no luck with the Pogonomyrmex. I've got a few queens. This will be the first Barbitus, but no luck, and of course did not get any development very early on. So I just assumed this queen was unfertile, but had her in a mini hearth, and since about March or April, this colony has just exploded in size. So I was happy to get them into a larger nest, and that little mini hearth they were in. Let me zoom out here. Because they were so numerous, and kind of the sidewall of the foraging area is covered in sand, they're crawling up and they were getting close to the edge. It just made it very difficult to care for them, clean out their foraging area, and feed and water them. But yet they still prevailed. I periodically, not as often as I probably should have, had to put them in the refrigerator, cool them out, chill them down so I could actually get in there, clean the nest, feed them. But they of course excelled in a very unkind environment. So one of my favorite colonies as of right now. And let's see here. I think I got one up here that just tackled a fruit fly. And they are, sorry for the shakiness, they are very good hunters, very quick when they need to be. When they're on alert, they run around with their gassers up in the air. You'd see it quite a bit when they first moved into this nest, but they've kind of mellowed down a little bit. Let's see if we can focus. And she's going down into the nest. Let's see if we can follow her. There she is, right there. Okay, so it looks like that's where the fruit flies are going. She's moving. I'll spin it around, look at the other side. Got some action going on over here. Got all of our seeds. Got some fruit flies. Looks like we got some fruit flies in there. What's going on? Yeah, and what's going on down here? Got some more larvae. I think that's the queen at the very top. Nope, that's not the queen. What's interesting about this species is as the colony's eating better, and this is only the last couple weeks, so I think I moved these guys in here maybe a week and a half ago. So there hasn't been a chance for significant development. Most of what you're seeing are from the prior nest. I don't think, I'm not seeing any ants that are super light, which would indicate that they're very young or just recently closed. But I am noticing that, now that I can actually see them, that a lot of the workers are very close in size to the queen. I haven't seen her yet. I want to say she's in here, in this little area. Oop. Not helping. Come on. keep my day job, right? I want to say she's in there. But anyway, I'm hoping that, you know, now that I'm feeding these guys a lot better because I have easier access to the foraging area and keep the nest clean, give them more protein for the young. I'm hoping that the ants will get bigger, you know, as each new generation. But again, a lot of the ants I'm seeing in here are very close to the queen. I have seen the queen. I think as I introduce light, she moves to the other side. I can't tell if she... No, yeah, I can see her in there. You can see the larger gaster. You see just the back of her. I'm kind of looking at the camera, looking with the naked eye. But yeah, I think she's in there. But yeah, unlike the honeypots, you know, the queen is so much larger than the workers. Yep, I can see her back there, kind of in the background. You can see she is larger, but not as much so as a lot of the other species I have. You know, the Novomessers. Their queen is noticeably larger than the rest of them, but with the Pogos, the queen is definitely not that much larger. So, anyways, I'm rounding out 16 minutes here. So I know in the YouTube world and, you know, the short attention spans of today's everybody, I'm equally bad about having a short attention span. 16 minutes is kind of pushing it for a video like this. But for those of you that continue to watch and comment and share, I certainly appreciate it. It's fun to see the comments, and I do apologize if I don't reply. I do most of this off my phone. Very rarely do I get on the computer and look at YouTube. So the way the comments they display on my phone and my email, you know, it seems like, you know, after a day or two, I don't even see them. So I try to comment as quickly as I can, you know, if I see them. You know, I do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and to comment. It's definitely fun for me, and I enjoy reading the comments. But and I do make a real effort to respond. Anyway, let's go up to the foraging area real quick, and then we'll cut this thing down. So definitely a much nicer foraging area. And they definitely seem to like it. So, hey guys, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.